Coming up, we have your September 2022 Las Vegas real estate market update.
Hey everyone, I'm Steve.
And I'm Kristen.
We are the Thomas Group with Real Broker, your local Las Vegas and Henderson Realtors, here today to bring you your September 2022 real estate market update from
the Las Vegas Strip.
Yeah, can you see behind us, we have got the world's largest spherical building.
Oh, big word you used there.
Mm-hmm. Largest and spherical.
Yeah.
20,000 people this is going to hold behind us, and this is the MSG Sphere. If you're like looking at it and you're like, what the heck is that?
Yeah.
This is going to completely transform the Las Vegas skyline. On the outside of it is going to be a projection of the Earth, and then inside of it is going to be one of the most incredible interactive experiences that you're ever going to find anywhere.
It looks really cool.
We'll see if we can flash up some of the image from some of the video from the MSG website so that you can see how incredible it is. But it's got to have state-of-the-art sound system in, which regardless of where you are seated inside of the theater, you're going to have the most incredible crystal clear sounds.
Oh, cool.
That's been like directed via lasers off a planet in the sky via the moon. I've just made that last part up, but it's supposed to be really, really good anyway. Yeah.
I'm like, oh wow.
Yeah. So I can't wait for it to be finished, and it really looks exciting.
Yeah, it does. All right, let's get into the numbers. All right, let's get started with single family homes. Now, the median sales price last month ended at $450,000. This is our third month in a row that we've seen month over month appreciation, and it was down 3.2%. Now, because of the massive gains that we were seeing throughout the entire pandemic, the year over year appreciation is still 11.1%. Now, personally, I don't know, I'll get your opinion on this too, Steve. I think that we're going to see that year over year keep getting eaten into a little bit, and I think we're going to end up at a very modest, maybe flat, maybe 0% year over year appreciation.
Or maybe just like a couple of points.
Right, a couple of points.
Yeah.
And something that I want to make note of again, that with the overall inflation in everything else, if we see it get to that point, that is in essence a correction of the market, even if we're only at, say, like 2% year over year appreciation, right? Okay, now let's look at our units sold. There were 2,002 single family homes that were sold last month. That's down 3.1% from the previous month and down 37.6% from the same time last year. Now, it sounds like a lot, right? But you have an interesting fact that you wanted to share about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's all relative.
Yeah.
Right. That's the most important thing you've got to think about here, because just to put it into perspective, when we had 1 month of inventory,
yes,
right, which wasn't that long ago, like earlier on this year, we had like less than about 2 weeks of inventory. But let's just say we had one month of inventory for argument's sake. If we double that inventory and we have 100% increase, right, that sounds like a lot, right? But it's still only 2 months of inventory. So the most important thing I think over here overall is to not get bogged down or confused,
caught up in the micro, and overall look at the macro. Because aren't we on pace right now to close very similar overall closings to 2019?
Exactly. Yeah. If you go back and look at like historical trend lines for all different years, you'll see peaks and troughs.
Yeah.
But right now we're on pace to close the same amount of homes as we did in 2019.
Right.
2020, 2021, complete outliers because of what happened. So we can't judge exactly what's going to happen in the real estate market just forecasting from 2 months of a pandemic. We're better looking at the data and the history from 5-10 years ago, because that's going to give us better sort of insight into maybe where we're going. Than looking at these 47% decrease in sales and all of this sort of stuff, because it's just it's a number that's
it sounds scary.
Right.
It sounds scary, but the lows of like the sales in March of 2020 were an anomaly, and the highs of the sales in the middle of 2021 were also an anomaly. So we have to just make sure that we're keeping that in our heads as we are comparing the statistics. The market is slowing 100%, and we're not saying that it's not. But
no, but the slowing of the slowing.
The slowing, yeah, the slowing of the slowing.
About that?
Let's talk about it right now.
Yeah.
So if you follow us often, you know that we like to make sure, especially in a rapidly changing market like this, that we look at the pending sales. And what this gives us is a little sneak peek into what our closings are going to be next month. Now, we were seeing the pending sales go down. They were going down like 15%. They were going down 10% month over month, right? They were getting smaller and smaller and smaller. This month, for single family homes, the pending sales actually went up. Not by much, but they went up about 150 extra sales.
Okay.
So the slowdown is slowing down, and I can tell you personally, in our team and other teams in our office, we are seeing people kind of adjust to this new normal.
I think it's not, it's throughout real estate, right?
Yeah.
There was such a huge demand, right? And you've got to think about, okay, since interest rates went up, that's pretty much what stopped buyers, right, entering the market, interest rates. But where are all of those people that were still wanting to buy a house at that time?
Right.
They're either renting.
Right.
What's better, right? Renting or owning your own home. I mean, if the average home ownership length in the United States is 8 years, if you buy a home right now and stay in it 8 years, regardless of what happens, you're probably going to be okay. But if you're buying a house right now that you don't know where you're going to be in 6 months or 12 months, that's when you're going to be, like no one can forecast that short of a period ahead of time. So you have to do what makes the most sense for you.
Right.
But all of these buyers are going to start eventually entering back into the market, which they have been doing, because, as you said, people were kind of just putting householding on ice for a little bit while
scary.
they evaluated what was happening. If interest rates going to keep going up, is all of the homes in Las Vegas going to come up for sale because Lake Mead's running out of water? Right? Like these are things that people are thinking about.
Of course.
But when they realize through time that nothing is really happening or changing,
right,
and you still need to have a roof over your head, then you've got to start looking at it with a sensible mindset.
Right. And rents in Las Vegas have gone up about 20,
all
25%.
over the country.
Las Vegas is one of the highest. So really good points all around. You reminded me of something else that I wanted to touch on when you said interest rates. Jerome Powell, the Fed chair, just came out with another update probably about 2 weeks ago. It was very short and to the point, and it was bold, and he said, listen, we are going to do everything that we need to do to slow inflation. Be prepared for some pain. And I think that's important to keep in mind, because how is that going to translate into the housing market? Is going to be higher interest rates. So we just need to adjust.
You can say that, but what happened last time? Last time the Fed put the benchmark rate up.
They went down and then they did go back up a little bit, but they're very bouncing around.
Yeah, it's
I don't know the word I'm looking for. They're very variable right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of variables.
Yeah, but just something interesting, to keep in mind for sure. All right, so moving on to our inventory. There are 7,997 single-family homes available for sale. That is up 9.1% from the previous month and up 145% from the same time last year. Now, again, this is to what you were speaking to before, right?
Doesn't really matter. Looking at it, like what we had last year is no point, because it was just such a crazy year.
It was.
That 145% is just.
Yeah, I remember looking in Green Valley, and there might be one house available for clients at a time.
And I mean, literally lines of people waiting to go in each one.
Literally lines. Yeah, that was a wild time. And so our months of inventory is at 4 for single family homes. So again, you talked about this last month, but we are starting to shift into a more balanced market, but it depends on
we talked about this last month, and it's becoming even more apparent now. I was looking at the numbers earlier this morning, and in fact, because we got such an interest from people that were watching last month's market update video, putting in the comments, you know, tell me a little bit about where, you know, what's it like in my community here? Tell me this, tell me that. I've just written down all of the communities in which it's a buyer's market right now. So would you like to hear where they are?
Yes,
okay.
Let's hear it. I've got some guesses.
All right, so I'm just going to read through these really quick.
Okay.
All right, so these are all buyer's markets, which means if you're a buyer looking in any of these areas, you have leverage. If you're a seller, you really need to know how to price your property correctly and market it correctly so that it can sell on time. But buyer's markets, Aliante up in North Las Vegas has got 8 months. Anthem down in Henderson's got 8 months.
Wow.
Lone Mountain, 10 months.
Yes.
Silverstone Ranch, 14 months.
Wow.
Sky Canyon, 8 months, and Summerlin has got 9 months. Now, Summerlin and Anthem are
I think the Sun Cities are factoring into that.
I think they really no, they're
are.
not in this one. They weren't. Sun City
not?
was a completely
it's
separate.
Oh,
it's
interesting.
just a separate community. But in these communities, you guys, in Anthem and in Summerlin, they have communities within themselves. And for example, Anthem Country Club, which is in Anthem, has got a very different market to Sun City Anthem, right? So we don't compare them and group them all together. But it just goes to show that depending on where you live, you can't look at the overall number and think of it as one thing. You really need to consult a professional so that they can tell you exactly what's happening in there. But in Summerlin, this is quite interesting. That I thought the average sale in Summerlin over the last 6 months is how much? Have a guess.
I would say the average. Yeah. The average, not the median.
Average, yeah.
$800,000.
$1 million.
Oh, $1 million.
$1 million. So yeah, Summerlin
has
definitely
really increased in price. I've had a lot, even more people than usual reaching out and saying like, we're just going to rule out Summerlin. Let's just stick with Henderson because it's more affordable. Yeah, each to their own. You know, definitely check out each area. Summerlin's beautiful.
But you definitely get more bang for your buck in terms of dollar per square foot in other areas. And there's the last interesting stat that I've got for you. So you know what market hasn't really been getting affected by any of this?
What market, Stephen?
The luxury market. Luxury market has been doing really well. Continuing to do really well, and last month there were 118 sales that were over a million, and the month before that there was 108. So they added an extra few homes.
I think too something that helps that number is that we look at that metric in terms of sales over $1 million. So as more and more of these Summerlin homes get, even in our neighborhood, our homes are getting pushed up into that price range too. That helps the sales as well as the high-end luxury market. Mark Wahlberg just bought here in the Summit Club.
Yeah, welcome to town, Mark. Yeah. Love to play golf with you if you're watching.
And he wants to try and bring, he's invested in F45, a fitness thing here. He's got a shoe company. Wahlburgers. And also he wants to bring some production here. So I just personally see our luxury market continuing to grow. We have people reaching out to us every week looking in that market. Coming from California, Chicago, where they just want to escape the taxes. So
New York City, we've got a lot of buyers in New York City.
Yeah, so just seeing that continue to grow for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, if you're looking in the luxury market, let us know. We love selling luxury homes.
Yeah. All right, so let us move on then to our condo and townhomes. The median sales price last month was about $265,000. That was down 2.5% from the previous month and still up 15.7% from the same time last year, which, people that are wanting to get into a home, they just need something affordable. So I'm not surprised by that. There were 611 condos and townhomes sold last month, up 0.8% from the previous month. So it's not much, but it's something, right? Again, we're seeing the slowdown is slowing down, and it's down 31.2% from the same time last year. Let's talk inventory. There were 1,812 condo and townhome units available for sale, up 12% from the previous month, which is quite a few, and up 164% from the same time last year. And I don't want to miss out on the pending. Pending sales are pretty similar to the previous month as well. So I expect we'll kind of see it level out again moving into next month for our sales of condo and townhomes. And this is interesting.
3 months of inventory.
Yeah, 3 months of inventory. So
Yeah, still generally still a seller's market.
right, depending on the
Where you're
community that
shopping.
you're in. Yeah. So interesting. Again, we feel like things are stabilizing a little bit. People are starting to make moves. I think people have to live somewhere, don't they?
Right. Yeah, exactly. I think it's going to be interesting what happens towards the end of the year now.
Yeah, I think so too.
But my anticipation is that the slowdown is going to continue slowing down unless the Fed surprises us, like you were talking about, puts the rates right the way up again and then kills the market. You know, there was just a report this morning that was released saying inflation's down, right? Well, it's gone from 10 to like it's in the 8s now.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll see what happens.
We'll keep updating you guys. So make sure you subscribe to our channel. You know, we do these market updates every month. We try to stay very factual and not use scare tactics. We offer home tours and community tours. So yeah, make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Yeah, and if you've got any questions, reach out to us. All of our info is on our website, thethomasgrouplv.com. But for now, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again.
Bye.